Engines roar and motors vibrate into the air and across the land. New Zealand is a modern country, a country of machines and movement, a country of science and power. Everywhere, dials and controls, the symbols of measured power. Symbols, numbers, words. The basis of power is knowledge, and this is where knowledge of the machine-made world we live in starts. There are 130,000 Maoris in New Zealand, and they are rapidly becoming the equals of the European population in social and educational standards. Maori youth learns how to use the elements of modern knowledge. Yet only a little over a century ago, they were a Stone Age people. Today, they understand modern tools, using them for their traditional carvings and to make everyday furniture. Maori teachers lead the children to an understanding of the modern world.
Throughout New Zealand, there are thousands of our Maori children of school age, many of them living in rural districts. The Ruatoki School, like many others, is in the centre of a large farming settlement which has seen many changes over the past 30 years. The unravelling of Maori land tenure systems and the consolidation of farms have helped intelligent and skilled Maori farmers towards a new era of prosperity. Our Maori people are not content to be left behind in the rush of New Zealand progress. We want to be secure and prosperous. We want the same things as Parker House: good homes, comfort, a good life. Yet we have preserved many of the old ways. The people are held together by common bonds of tradition and tribe. Here in the meeting house, tribal elders speak about the welfare of our race. Yes, they say, the young people must keep alive our Maori customs and crafts. But there is more for them than that. They must make their way in the world and learn modern science.
More seriously, the future education of their children.
That's all right, as far as you're concerned. As far as I'm concerned, I want my own boys to milk my cows. Better than sitting down reading books. I wanted to send all my boys to education. My main trouble is I haven't got the money to send them away.
The boys are not interested in trades. They're not interested in further education. All they're interested in is more money and fast motor cars.
My boy would like to learn a trade, but he has to go to the city to learn a trade. But where can he live in a city? There's no accommodation in a city for him. What have we got to put up with? It's worthwhile to help our children. Our children must have a better education.
Today, every effort is being made to provide facilities for education, and well-equipped district high schools serve even the most isolated parts of the country. Yet what is the use of schools if the parents do not recognize that their children must attend regularly?
Davis? Here. Ruru? Ruru? Oh, he's always away. Where is he?
Oh, he's away helping his father milk the cows.
Billy Ruru won't get much of an education in the cowyard. The boy will look after things. The old man's in for an easy day. Go on. Go off to the races, turning your back on your children's future. When they get a bit older, girls are very useful too. Wiki can look after the little ones while her mother has a carefree day's shopping. No need to worry about the kids. Wicky's very reliable, clever too. You don't care if she neglects her school books.
Yes, I know, Mrs. Curryhouse. Wicky is a reliable girl, but she can't sit school certificate this year.
But Wicky is a very clever girl.
Yes, but she won't learn if she doesn't come to school.
If the parents are too interested in their own pleasures and neglect the children, how will the children learn? No matter how much opportunity there is, what is the use unless parents stand behind their children? Parents must make sacrifices, especially where there's a big family. Will Perry's last year's uniform fit Tui this year? It'll have to do. Take the waist in a bit. Keeping children at school is expensive. But the sacrifices of long years have their reward. A son's education can be a help to his father when difficult business letters have to be written. The time will soon come when the boy has to leave home to continue his training. No parent likes to think of his children adrift in the city. For some hundreds of young Maori boys wanting to study for the professions and skilled trades, hostels have been established at Wellington, Christchurch, Auckland and Rotorua, in which they can live while they continue their education. Hostels like these are urgently needed so that the boys can work and live in good surroundings. This boy is apprenticed to a refrigeration engineering company. During the day, the boys work at their jobs and at night take apprenticeship classes. Here is the way the wonderful things of modern civilization work, and these young people are learning to become qualified mechanics. Here is a joinery apprentice who will soon be a skilled tradesman, the master of his tools and his materials. This compositor has already reached proficiency at his difficult task of correcting type for a newspaper, learning to work with words.
Words, the symbols of ideas. This is what these young teacher trainees have to grapple with. At New Zealand's residential training colleges, the way is paved for the young people to absorb knowledge and benefit from each other's company. At Ardmore College, Maori students are attending lectures, learning what makes the modern world tick and how they themselves can teach others. At the same time, the students do not neglect the arts of their own people. Here, weaving the tukutuku, they show the patient artistry of Polynesia, the heritage of all the Maori people. Arts and crafts are preserved by the elder people, learnt anew by the young. The art of the poi, the challenge of the taiaha. Still at the center of Maori community life is the marae, the meeting house, where the problems and the challenge of today are discussed.
We are living in a new world. And today there has been quite a lot of talk with regards to the equality of the Maoris with the Pākehā. I believe that the only true equality is the equality of knowledge. Perhaps one child in 10 has the ability to enter the university. That one child is very, very important. And he must be given the chance to make good in life. Perhaps one in every 2 has the ability to enter the professions and skilled trades. We must dedicate at least 50% of our children in that line.
Already many Maoris have met the challenge. Doctors and research workers, calculator operators, farmers, geothermal workers, secretaries, skilled tradesmen, radiologists, project surveyors, farming experts, linotype operators, local body leaders, bacteriologists. In science, industry and medicine, the Maori can take his place. For the young person determined to study and work, the way is open.
Our children are our future. We are gone while they continue to carry on after us. We must give them the very best in all that we have. All of our small and humble substance must be dedicated to them, to raise them in the standards of civilization. In our children lies our future. For the future of our families, the future of our tribes, and the future of the Maori race.